got the bypass fitted to the car now. The chiller is off at the moment. We've just been cruising along. Our intake temps are pretty stable, around 19-20 degrees that have been flicking between. So I'll go ahead and switch the chiller on now, and then the bypass. So the chiller is now on, and now the bypass is on as well. So we'll see how quick that takes to go down. Now the only variance now is the engine temperature, and it's obviously the same temperature basically year round because of the thermostat control that it has on it. The front mount heat exchanger is being bypassed, so that can no longer affect the intake temps. It's obviously on a switch, so you still have the option to bypass or not to bypass. That's entirely up to you, and you can just decide which way you want to go and when you want to do it. So, you know, for instance, if you were to do a big full throttle run, you know, you might chill the system down as much as possible with the bypass closed. So you're just bypassing the heat exchanger, and then open it up when you do go full throttle, so you've got more reserve fluid there. And then you may even want to pre-chill the reserve side of the fluid as well first, so you can try and you know, have that chilled in reserve as well. So quite a bit you can do now by having it on a switch. Much more versatile. So our ambient air temperature, it doesn't come into play anymore now, not at all, when we're in the bypass mode. So we were seeing earlier today, with the bypass open, our IAT2 was sitting around 10 degrees, and then when we closed it, we got down consistently between 2-3 degrees. It was at 1 for quite a bit as well, and then we did see 0 at one stage too, which was pretty amazing, and it stayed at 0 for a few minutes. Yeah, it's so cold, and I think ice starts to form at 4 degrees. So obviously, if you do get one of these chillers off us, make sure you use antifreeze, anti-boil in it, not water, or otherwise you'll seize up the pump and you'll freeze in there. So yeah, at the moment this one's using the correct Dexcool 50-50 mixture. It's exactly 50-50 because we measured it. And yeah, we're not obviously getting any freezables, antifreeze, anti-boil. So our intake temps are dropping, as you see, they're dropping pretty quickly. I put it on this screen on the Talk Pro app because it's a lot bigger, so you guys can see it a bit easier. We're just getting on the freeway here now, so we're up to about 105 kilometers an hour, and set the cruise control so we can just maintain and see what happens. Hopefully we'll get down pretty low like we did earlier today. That was in daytime, so no reason. Like I said, the only variance is the engine, so there's no reason we can't get down that low. You know, we did have it on for 20 minutes or so when it did get down to 0, so obviously the longer it's on, the colder it's going to get, because you're chilling, you know, lots of different components now. Like, you know, the chiller's obviously going to get, itself will get very cold. The top mount radiator in the heat exchanger is obviously going to get very cold, and then obviously the supercharger itself, the casing and everything like that's also going to get very cold. Yeah, it was quite cool earlier today. Being all our AC, all the not the AC lines, all the intercooler fluid lines, you know, we're all sweating. There's obviously a little bit of humidity in the air that they're just attaching to the line. So yeah, pretty cool that we're now getting such low temperatures, and these low temperatures, like I said, these should be consistent no matter what climate you're in now. If it's summer, if it's winter, the variation's been removed. So the best thing though is that it's on a switch, so it's entirely up to you when you want to activate it and utilize the benefit of bypassing the heat exchanger. Personally, I wouldn't recommend bypassing the heat exchanger system as much as possible, and then bypass for the final time, getting the lowest temps you possibly can, and then switch that bypass back open so the heat exchangers are in the loop, and do your drag run or your wide open throttle pull them. That way at least you've got, you know, quite a few litres in reserve that way. Our heat exchanger did add a whole litre to the intercooler system, so we know that we have at least, you know, 1.5 litres possibly in capacity when we are bypassing. So what I'd also recommend would be to get, you know, a reservoir installed. Try and put it somewhere on the car where it's not going to, you know, be exposed to engine temperatures, and it's going to, you know, not have to battle heat on its own. If you did have to mount it in the engine bay, try and insulate it so that it doesn't get as hot, and you know, preferably try to mount it somewhere else, you know, possibly down the front fender well area there if possible. Obviously there's multiple locations, but if you then bypassed and had a decent sized reservoir, you probably wouldn't need to utilize the heat exchanger at all. You could just keep bypassing it. So, you know, it would remove its necessity from the system because you just don't need it. So as you can see, we've been flicking between 1 and 2 degrees Celsius now. I'm just going to slow down here and road delays. So this goes. Honestly, this is the best modification you can do to your car. I mean, cold air, you know, so much more oxygen dense. Let's go. Quite a bit of roadworks here. Yeah, lot more oxygen dense. You know, you can run a better pulley size now, so you know, there's these guys out there that are, you know, going down a pulley size, and you know, that you say they're making, you know, 650, 700 rear wheel, and then they go down one more pulley size and actually go backwards in horsepower at that point. We're up to 0 now, so those guys that actually go backwards at that point because they've gone too fast and created too much heat, that won't be a problem now. You're eliminating that, so now you can run more boost safely. You can avoid pre-detonation. That's obviously got, you know, obvious benefits. And then we even looked into the stock tuning table today, and we found that I think it was below 15 degrees or something like that. The stock tune in the LSA actually adds timing to you gaining more horsepower just in the timing part. Not to mention, obviously, you know, the cooling effect of the air as well. So benefits everywhere. The modification is a, you know, one-time install. There's no maintenance. It just goes on. It runs. You buy it. You put it on. You regas it. It's done. You never have to spend a cent on it ever again. You know, the guys out there running meth injection and everything like that. Obviously, you have to keep refilling those bottles all the time. You have to keep an eye on the switch the bypass off now. I'll give it a full throttle run down the ramp here, and we'll see what happens. Opened up the bypass there, so we had lots of coolant in reserve, and yeah, pretty cool. It didn't go too high. That obviously goes a lot higher than that normally. Might give it another try in a little bit. What I'll do is I'll open up the bypass now, so we're not bypassing the heat exchanger. Chill the whole system, and then we'll do another full throttle pull and see how high it gets when we can. What I'll do is I'll open up the bypass, I'll chill the whole entire system, then I'll close the bypass, chill as best as possible, and try and mix the two cold and very cold together, and then see what we can get for temps when we do a wide open throttle pull like that. So at the moment, this is the entire cooling system. The heat exchange is not being bypassed. It's still getting quite low. The good thing is with the chiller that we've used, it's dedicated for the R134A. It's specifically made. We're getting them made to order, made to spec that we want, and there's a special distribution into the plates of the chiller, so that the AC is evenly spread across all the plates. So if you have a look at those thermal images that we've posted before, you see that when you use the wrong type of chiller, the gas doesn't distribute evenly. You're not utilising the entire surface area of all of the plates throughout the entire chiller. And then obviously with our one, being the correct one, you are utilising the entire system. Jeez, this is actually getting pretty cold here with the bypass open. Must be because the radiator in the top of the supercharger and some of the other lines are already quite cold. It's getting down really low now. It's at 3 with the entire system, so that's pretty good. bypass is closed, so we're cooling just the chiller only. Now we're bypassing the heat exchanger. Takes a little while because it's goddamn cold versus the goddamn hot blower. And it obviously does take a little while to get down so low, but it gets there. And when it gets there, it stays there. hill area here. There we go, -1. We did it. We did it. -1. So obviously the pressures are squirting in there at the moment. You could probably also do it actually if you put a little bit more AC into the system when you do your gas recharge. Put a little bit more AC into the system, just a touch. Shouldn't hurt anything, and you can get those crazy low temps. Let's see, it's a slight, ever so slightly incline. Yeah, maintain that sort of 35 to 40 kilometer speed. That was cool. We saw it for a second there, -1 for a second. We saw it. It definitely happened. There we go. Let's see if we can get a screenshot of that. Please be -1 still. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. I'll post that one up for you guys later. -1. Look at that. Look how long we're maintaining it. So obviously I'm doing about 35, 32 on the incline, and maintains that AC pressure. Actually just manipulating the compressor to do it. But man, we're at -1. Now the compressor's not being manipulated now in the downhill run, so there we go. It'll start changing. Because obviously we're just freewheeling down the hill. Alright, so we're going to take the temperature right on top of the blower there. 5.1 degrees Celsius, 41.2 Fahrenheit, sorry, not centigrade.